So if you're watching this video, chances are you have some Limelight Foundation that you're ready to try out. I love showing people how to use our foundation because it is an amazing product. It was created by the president of RCMA. It's the top selling professional foundation in the world. It's 50% pigment. It's non-comedogenic, which basically means that it's not going to go down into your pores. It's not going to clog things. It's also considered hypoallergenic. So if you deal with redness, irritation, or anything like that, this is an amazing foundation for you. So chances are if you have this, you already know all that stuff. If not, you know it now. So let's get started. Now, when I'm applying my foundation, I use a certain tool. I use my buffer brush. This is a Limelight buffer brush. It is extremely soft. It is an amazing tool to apply your foundation. It has a lot of precision. It's very easy to use and it gives you wonderful, amazing coverage. It's also conservative with your foundation, so you don't lose product down in it like you would with a Blenderful or a blending bud. Now, this is the second tool that a lot of people really love to use. You can use a generic sponge. You don't have to use a blending bud, but warning, with any and all sponges, you are gonna have product go down into the sponge, so it will kind of use up your product a little bit faster. The second thing about it is these cannot be sanitized. So if you deal with any sort of breakouts or anything like that, make sure you're cleaning it really regularly, or consider going to a brush because these are able to be cleaned once you've washed them with a little soap in your hand or some of our cleaner, brush cleaner. You leave them at an angle. I like to prop up a book and leave the stem pointed toward like the countertop or something. The reason why you do that is so it protects the glue that's down in this part of your brush from getting broken down with water, and that will protect your bristles from coming out. So your third option is the foundation brush. A foundation brush is a wonderful option for people that really like to be super conservative with their product, but also maybe they want a little bit more of coverage with each brush stroke. So what you'll do is you'll dip it down into the pan and essentially paint it on, like paint a barn, paint it on your face. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do it with my Blenderful, I'm sorry, not our Blenderful, our buffer brush. The thing that I really want to get through with this video is how little product you need. If you're used to a liquid foundation or even other cream foundations that are on the market, you will want to use a lot, like potentially half, maybe even only 25% of what you would typically use. So let me show you guys how much I would actually use if I were going to do this on my face with medium coverage. So not full, like a lot of foundation, but just like kind of like the general, like what the general public would want to use. So I'm gonna take my nail. That much will give you a solid medium coverage. That's all you need. Now, I'm gonna show you guys how I get mine out of my pan. So I stuck my finger in it a couple of times filming this, but the point still being, all you need to do is literally twirl your brush in the pan 2 to 3 times and then go at it. But before I start, I'm gonna start out with primer. Now, our primer and setting spray will make your foundation last 16 hours. So and I always take a little bit, I spritz a little bit on one of my fingers, rub my fingers together and carry it around my eye and on top of my eye, because that is the area that, sorry, crazy hair there. That is the area where I struggle the most because I tend to kind of like do this. Do you see this, what I'm doing with my eyes? I can kind of tend to do that throughout the day. And every foundation that I have ever worn gums up in the little fine lines around my eye. When I use this, it doesn't move. So I'm just gonna do that and let it dry. We'll fast forward. All right, so now my primer has dried, and when I touch my face, I literally don't feel a tacky feeling. It is dry. So the great thing about our primer and setting spray is that they're silicone free, so they don't clog your pores. Okay, so let's hop right into this. So I've got a little bit of foundation on my brush, and I just kind of tend to like to dab it around my face. And I just start kind of rubbing it in with circular motions. If you were using a foundation brush, you would start painting, basically. Okay. All right. Now, the way I like to apply my foundation is I apply my foundation around my face, but I do leave the triangle area that I use my brightener concealer on. I leave that area free of foundation because I really want my concealer to be applied directly to my face. It just makes it last longer. The great thing about our concealer is it is waterproof. So it's pretty amazing. So if you cry or something like that, it is not gonna disappear on you. Okay. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have a breakout going on up here from some hormones that I'm on. And it just, like, the foundation itself will cover that stuff up. So sometimes you don't even really need to use concealer. I use concealer every day under my eyes because I have such purple, dark circles under my eyes. Okay, so probably the fastest tool would be the foundation brush just because of the coverage it gives you, but I love the finish on the buffer brush look. So, all right, now we're gonna go directly from our foundation. I'm gonna take my buffer brush. You can do this with a concealer brush, you can do it with your finger. I do it all those ways work well for me. I used to do my fingers more, and then I figured out that the buffer brush just has an amazing finish that I really like. So, all right, now I carry my concealer up onto my eye, and then down, so down, out past the eye, and back over to the corner of the eye. And that gets my concealer on exactly where I want it. Okay. This concealer, the brightener, I love. Oh my word. And the concealer seems to last forever. Like, so my brightener, I'm almost through. After, this is like 6 months basically. This one is not even halfway gone. But I use the brightener way more than I use the color match concealer. So if I got both concealers in the zero, which I think I'm gonna do next time, it would definitely, the concealer would definitely last a year. Okay, just a little concealer down here. All right, and you're done. And that is how to apply the foundation. So it would be go light. You can always add more, but you don't need much because this is a 50% pigment foundation. No other foundation that you buy at the drugstore or in department stores will even come close. The highest percentage you're gonna see is like 18 to 23%. So we're over double that. So you don't need a ton of foundation, and it should feel weightless. So The other tip I wanted to give you, I'm just gonna tack this one onto the end. What I do, if you guys notice, mine does have foundation on it. What I do every day is I wet my blender full, squeeze it out to where it's just damp, and then I take it and I press the foundation in, and it makes the foundation look like your skin. This probably won't come through in the video, but I'm telling you, I tell people this and I show people this all the time. It is the perfect finisher for your foundation. So I would say if I had to take 3 items to a desert island, this would be my 3. So anyways, I'm so glad you guys joined me. I'm just gonna top this off with some 10 years younger finishing spray. It is anti-aging. So we're gonna spritz a little bit of this on, and I'll see you guys later. All right, thanks, bye.